Hey, what's up? Just thought I'd make a video here about kind of a topic that I've heard a lot of different opinions on when it comes to tea, and that's seasoning teapots. These Yixing purple clay teapots. I've just seen a lot of different people's takes on it, and no one seems to really agree. So I thought I'd just make a video about how I do it. Um, the first thing I'll say about it is actually the method that I'm going to show you. You actually don't have to do it um, if you don't want to. It's more of a preference thing. This idea of seasoning a pot, kind of like uh, since these pots are unglazed, uh, not just on the outside but on the inside, just totally unfinished. They actually retain the tea flavor and the oil of whatever tea you brew in them. So the idea being that if you brew one type of tea in one pot over time, eventually, in Chinese they call it yanghu. Basically, it kind of inundates that pot with that energy and the flavors and the fragrance of that tea. So it in that way it's kind of suggesting that you'll get a better result the longer you continuously brew one type of tea in that pot. So um, if you get a new pot, first off, I would start off by saying, before you even worry about yanging it, just take boiling hot water and just fill the pot with it and cover it and pour over the top of the pot, um, quite a bit, just because you want to rinse it, and then leave that boiling water in there for, like, I don't know, at least an hour probably, and then take it out. Just because if you just got it from the store, if it just came in the mail, you want to make sure that it's like clean and fresh. It's probably not dirty if you got it from a reputable place, but just a good, um, it's just a good thing to do. And then after that, you can season a pot by just using it. You don't have to kind of do this method of trying to speed it up. You can just start brewing whatever tea you want to make in it, whatever type of tea. This Yixing, I've had this for a while. I brew show cha in this. So, and I didn't actually season this when I first got it. I just started using it, and it'll just naturally do it over time. But it is a slower process. So if you're impatient or you don't want to, yeah, if you don't want to wait so long, you can do this method that I'm about to show you. Pretty much what you do is you get your tea. The reason why I recommend doing this method is I think it makes a little more sense than some of the other methods that I saw, and I think it's also a little better for the pot. You see some people tell you to kind of get these kind of kitchen stovetop pots and fill them with boiling water, and then like kind of continuously boil the tea in the water, and then fully submerge the pot in the water. I don't think that's a good method because you can damage the pot that way. Kind of having the clay rattle against the metal is not so good. I've never tried this, but I've seen people do this, and this is what happens. Also, because you're continuously stewing that tea, it's going to go past the point of where it's actually enjoyable to drink, and it's just going to get bitter. So you might even kind of raise that tea on this kind of bitter flavor that's not really desirable. And that's not so good. And then also, you know, whatever pot you probably cooked with, it's probably got food. There's probably been food in there, and there's probably definitely been soap in there. And even if you rinse it, you know, different things are scented, different products are scented, and you don't know like what smells are on there or whatever. So unless you're buying like a brand new, you know, kitchen pot to season your Yixing with, I don't think it really makes sense. So I don't think that's the best method personally. What I would do is what I'm about to show you. So I've made tea in this. I'm drinking shochang because that's what I use in this pot. I would make your tea. You don't have to do what I did, which is I've already steeped this like 3 times. It could still go a little longer, but definitely rinse the tea. Put it in the pot and rinse it. And then what you want to do is you want to just brew it like normal. Like this. Okay. And I'm just gonna make it like I would make it if I wanted, you know, just to drink this like normal. I'm not stewing the tea in there. It's not gonna be bitter or you know. And another thing too is you'll see when people do these seasonings, they'll say, oh, use a tea that you're not gonna drink, or don't use a good tea. I agree, you know, maybe don't use a tea for this that, you know, you don't have to season your pot with like $1 a gram, you know, whatever best tea you have. If you do it this way, you can kind of just use whatever. I'm drinking my V97. I've already drunk like half of this, so, or not V97, V93, sorry. It's a Mung Hai ripe. If you do it this way, you don't have to use, you know, bad tea, or you don't have to use good tea or whatever, but you should use a tea that you're actually going to drink, because that's what you want to do. Okay, so now I have my brew right here, and then I'd maybe do a little more just so that you can top it off. When you do it this way, it avoids all of the negative aspects that I just said about some of the other methods. You're not going to be stewing the tea, so you're not going to get bitter tea. And you're also not going to risk, you know, cross-contaminating the pot with another pot, or you're not going to risk rattling this against a metal kitchen pot. There's pretty much no risk to doing this. And it's a natural way to just kind of like, if you're impatient, just kind of, or just start it off. Okay, so now I have my cha hais full of tea. Then I take this, and you want to take the tea out. It doesn't have to all be out, but like if there's like small particles in there still, that's okay. But just make sure that it's empty of, like, it's not gonna steep anymore. Same on the lid here. Just do that. You just want to make sure that there's no bigger particles, so that it's not gonna get bitter. When the next thing you do is you take your tea and you put it back in the pot. Now, probably some people are already thinking, well, the pot's not sitting in the tea. That's what some people do, is the idea behind boiling the pot in a kitchen pot is the whole pot is surrounded by tea. I don't think that's necessary. The outside isn't going to have the tea and the water in it. It might have a little on the outside, but I think it's more important to have the tea on the inside. So now that my tea is on the inside of my pot, and that's it. You just leave this for, I don't know, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. I wouldn't leave it more than like 6 hours, just because. But it's there, and you just leave it, and that'll pretty much do the job. If you want to young it, again, you don't have to do this. It's kind of optional. You could also just kind of start brewing, and it's up to you. But I think for me, this is the safest way. This is the way that makes the most sense to me. You know, it's my way of doing it. It's not the best, but it's better for me for those reasons that I just described. So I hope it's useful. Thanks for watching.